Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time zone you're in. It is a pleasure that I'm being able to introduce a new friend to everyone. His name is XRP Bags, or that's what he's called. And he is from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And he has recently started a YouTube channel. So I want to make sure I'm going to put links in the description of the video. And make sure he's a really good guy. Make sure, everybody, to give a subscribe and like and watch his videos because he's a good guy. He's going to be putting out good content for everybody. And it's a definite must watch when he puts out some content. So XRP Bags, what we generally do on this show is I want to find out about you. I want to find out, what were you doing before you started making videos? What were you doing before crypto, and how you found your way into it, and where you feel like we are now, and where you feel like we're going. So the floor is yours, and I'd like you to introduce yourself to everyone.
Oh, how's everybody doing out there? This is XRP Bags, and I'd like to thank Scott for welcoming me on the XRP Army News channel. I got into crypto around October 2017, right before the bull run. I don't remember. I remember a friend had mentioned that I should check out. He had a friend that was doing mining, and I should check that out. So I think I remember looking that up, and that's, I think, how I ran into cryptocurrencies around that time. And then I started looking into cryptos, and then that's when I started buying cryptos. I don't remember who I ran into at first, but I remember that I had ran into the BitConnect coin, the scam coin. So I had put in some money into that, so I lost a couple $100 in that. But then I just started like buying cryptos, and I started getting into it. And then I think I ran into Alex Cobb like around January and stuff like that. So I had a little bit of XRP when the bull run happened, but like I didn't really know what was going on at the time. So I was just like a sitting duck and just, I don't even think I remember that it was up that high because I wasn't really into crypto like all that deep back then when it happened. So, but I did have some stuff in my, but then I started watching Alex Cobb, and then I started really getting into it. And then that's when I really just started going all into XRP. And then like I found Jungle Inc. and stuff like that after that. And then I started watching like videos every day. And then I just became like all into XRP. I seen what was going on, what they were doing, all the partnerships, and in the meetings with the IMF and the central banks and the offices by the White House, and just all the dots and ecosystem. And I just started connecting all the dots, seeing what was going on. And I just knew from there that this was the opportunity of a lifetime. And after that, I seen the Jungle Inc. video. He said the only thing that we have to do now is just spread the word. And then I think it was around October 1st, 2018 is when I first did my first video. And then I started making videos after that. And now I'm up to like 600 subscribers. I'm almost at 700 subscribers. I don't know if you guys watch Notorious XRP, but he just played one of my songs in his video, because I started making XRP like videos and music videos and stuff like that, just because I think it could just reach a different audience and reach different people to get into XRP. So he recently just played one of my videos in his newest premiere. So that's how
absolutely brilliant videos that guy makes, by the way.
Yeah, they're like movies.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much my crypto story. So I just been pretty much making videos ever since, and just trying to get the word out about XRP and what's coming.
Well, what do you feel like is the number one thing that needs to happen for us to be able to make a move forward? And, again, I know that everybody's worried about the price and all that kind of thing. But, I mean, look, we're all doing this because we feel like that there is a humongous economic opportunity here for us. But the one thing that I've been continuously curious about is that if I just look at a snapshot, XRP Bags, at the last 30 days of all of the good news that's been there, and then I go back 60 days, all of that good news there, and then 90 days, All of that good news there. I mean, Asimo just had a great big announcement. Looks like, we're having something really fantastic beginning to happen in Brazil. Looks like that the Chinese yuan being digitized, the U.S. government doesn't want them to get ahead of us. I mean, but we're sitting right there about 18, 19, 20 cents.
Well, it's the best kept secret. I mean, with all the good news, there's a lot of people trying to FUD XRP and try to get you out. I just think they're just trying to keep it on the low so we can't get in, and then just try to shake as many people out as they can, because it's the future and XRP is pretty much like the chosen one. So they have to do everything they can to try to get as many people and stay away from it. That's what I think.
Well, are you a fan of the pre-allocation theory that Brad Kimes shares with us on a continuous basis, that possibly all of these countries that are going to the IMF that are asking to get bailed out, that they might just allocate that escrow that Ripple's holding on to and give it to all these countries, and then set that price around $1,000 in XRP, and bam, resetto.
Yep, XRP is like the secret weapon that the USA can just unleash at any time. So it's just any second, I think. With the pandemic going, I think as soon as everything starts clearing up and we get started and get going and everything's back to 100%, I think that's when we're going to start seeing things really get going.
Well, are you one of the people that feels like that the pandemic was actually the plandemic? Do you think that this was part of the master plan of the dark forces of the world that are trying to move us all into a cashless society?
Yeah, I think it was. And also at the same time, it's a tool to distract them. So everybody's focused on the pandemic and then the riots, and then, just a small percentage of people know what's going on and are accumulating right now. So it's just another tool to distract them and keep them busy.
Did you happen to see the news article? I saw it briefly on Twitter yesterday. Did you see the article that said that they are beginning to have a new strain of COVID?
I didn't see that, but I heard about something like that.
Yeah, a new strain of COVID beginning to spread itself around in China. That's going to be terrible. Now, in Nevada, have you guys noticed, have you seen a lot of activity with the beer cold there in Nevada?
Not as of late. I know I haven't really heard of anything.
Well, we just had on Saturday the biggest spike in North Carolina, but I don't know one person that's got it. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I don't believe that it's real. I do. I think it's more contagious, but I don't think it's more lethal than a lot of other stuff. I certainly don't think that it was a big enough deal to completely choke down the entire world economy. But in North Carolina, we're beginning to open up again, and we're spiking. I mean, I think we're going to end up, and I'm a huge sports fan. I got my little XRP cap on, but I've got my Masters ball marker here. And I'm thrilled that golf is back on television again. And but
you into sports betting?
No. See, I mentioned before we started this, I've been to Vegas one time and I had a great time. The part that I didn't tell you, not a really big gambler, because I don't like to lose as much as I like the thrill of the win.
I'm the same way here.
Yeah, my experience in Vegas, I sat down. I love playing blackjack. I do like doing it, but I'm just not very good at it. So I sat down and I won, I think, $500 in the first 35 or 40 minutes that I was there. And I was like thinking, man, I need to, this is not so hard. It's pretty damn. And then over the next 3 days, I ended up losing about double that. But I did it slowly, and the pain was just excruciating. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. And then the other thing is I like to sleep. And the all the noise, and I mean, everything's open 24/7, and I don't know. God, it was amazing. I mean, I'll go back, but And then I also mentioned to you, I'm not a good flyer. I'm kind of like, scared of that. And I like what George Carlin said. He goes, to hell with getting, on the plane. I want to get in the plane. And our flight back was 6 hours worth of turbulence, and it seemed like that the plane was only going about 5 miles an hour, and I was just white knuckling it the whole time, holding on to the airplane chair. So I don't know, that combined with losing, about $1,000, and I don't know. I'll go back. I'll try. I'll give it a second shot. But anyway, not a huge gambler.
Yeah, I seen an article today about the casinos. They're supposedly going to have a meeting sometime at the end of June about allowing, because they're not allowed to have mobile transactions in there. So they're trying to change that because they're thinking about going cashless and stuff. So they're going to have a meeting at the end of the month about changing that.
Well, I think we're all going cashless. And, again, the one thing about it is, the house is always going to win. So I don't know. I'll go back. I enjoyed the people. They were nice, friendly people. I loved all that. But so what do you think? Do you think regulations now that we're all kind of waiting on? Do you think that, I see a groundswell of momentum personally, with Brazil coming along and Thailand coming along and Mexico already there. And I think I love the fact that MoneyGram has got, a way for us to connect to every corridor in the world. So
yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's really about, if there's really a battle, with the deep state and Trump and all them. Because if it's true, then I think that's the only thing that they could be waiting on, like to switch everything over and stuff like that. And plus regulations too. That's a big part across the world. But Brad Garlinghouse said that we already have regulations here, because in order to get most likely to get onto XRP, you got to go through an exchange that's already KYC'd and stuff like that. So, but I think they are still waiting on regulations for, to use it globally and stuff like that.
Well, do you think, do you have any fear at all that maybe Western Union is going to buy up MoneyGram and then sort of try to put the kibosh on Ripple and XRP?
I don't think so, because they could try to do that, but if they, like, say they were to buy MoneyGram and then just squash all that and just continue to be the leader and everything, I think Ripple could just continue to do what they're doing and, maybe make their own platform or something like that. And then, customers would go to them because it would be cheaper and faster still. So I don't know. At the end of the day, if Western Union wants to go that route, they're just going to end up being the next Blockbuster, I think.
Well, the one thing I thought about this the other day, the one thing that kind of scares me a little bit is I think it was Einstein. He said he was only sure about two things: death and human stupidity. And the things it's so obvious to me that being able to move money as fast as we can move information, and the fact that in 2020, if I wanted to move money today from here to, say, Japan, the fastest way to be able to do that is to fly it on a plane. Is insane. And for a company to come along with a solution where the payments can be close to instantaneous, 3 or 4 seconds, be cheaper and be more secure, that is so XRP bags, so obvious to me that the people who are responsible for printing the money at the Fed and the banksters making all the money on the fees that they must have made, getting our derivative asset class to $1.2 quadrillion. Are they so stupid that they just want to continue doing or trying to do what they're trying to do instead of just moving into something that just makes so much sense? That's one thing that scares me, is the stupidity factor of the traditional world.
Yeah, because they make all the big bucks with the current system that we're making through, fees and stuff like that. So that's why they don't want to switch. But eventually they're gonna have to. If not, I mean, we don't have to use it anyways, because right now we could send money, we could send XRP to each other right now. So if enough people start adopting it and getting into it, we could just do it on our own. We could send money right now without them. I could send you XRP right now without anybody.
And my friend James Rule XRP, he bought I think it was an Uphold card. Then he went and bought groceries. I think he said he went to Walmart or a grocery store and actually paid for it with crypto.
Yeah,
So I think the adoption is coming along.
I got the crypto.com card and I got the spend app card. They both got a card with them. This one's pretty cool. It's all metal. The only thing I don't like about this one is you have to say you could send XRP to your crypto.com app, but then you have to go to your card and then top it off. So you're not actually using XRP. You have to transfer it over, but you still can use it. And then the spend app one, you could just send the XRP, and then you could just put the button that you want to use that crypto, and that one you can actually use it. But the crypto.com one is a way better, I think. I think it's a lot better.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you seeing a resurgence of Libra? I've kind of noticed now that it looks like that maybe Zuckerberg's trying to get back in the game with WhatsApp. I originally thought when Libra came out that it was just going to be a no-go, completely done. They may have brought some awareness to the space, but there's no way that they're going to end up letting Zuckerberg be the biggest bank in the world. But it looks like now that with WhatsApp that they're, kind of in the game here. Do you think that Ripple and XRP is going to be involved with that, or do you think that's something that may exclude us or go around Ripple and XRP?
I think so, because they want to level the playing field, and XRP I think is the only way that I see that happening, because the fees burn, nobody gets the fee, and it's a minimal fee. So yeah, I think they have to be. And Ripple's been in the game a long time. What, 2014, 2012, somewhere around there. Ever since then, they've been building the groundwork, the ecosystem. So they've been in the game a long time. The team behind them, they got the best team, Schwartz and Brad Garlandhouse. They know what they're doing. They're in the meetings with the IMF, with central bank, and all that stuff. So it's just a matter of time. They're just, like I said, they're just trying to scare you and get your way. So they got to put as much fear and FUD out there to try to scare you away from the best digital asset.
Well, and what do you feel like is the best move that each one of us who feel like that we kind of understand this, what can we do to be able to get more people to be able to understand kind of what's going on? Because I know that I spend time every day talking to some of my friends or family at some level about kind of what's going on here, to be able to kind of maybe hope that at some point the light bulb will go off. Because I believe that the more people that really understand here what's going on, that they'll be able to see it. And one of the frustrating parts for me is it's just so obvious that again, I'm sitting there thinking, what part of this I got to be missing something, because this just seems so obvious to me.
Yeah, I made a video saying not using XRP is like not using the internet. So, and I think a lot of people, there's a lot of platforms that they could use, because everybody has a different way of sharing information and telling stories. There's a lot of different platforms that they could use. They could start like a Coil blog and start writing on there and spreading the XRP word. And at the same time, they could start accumulating XRP. And they could jump on Cinnamon Video, start making videos on there, or on YouTube. They could jump on Twitter. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Because I know a lot of times, the people around us, majority of them aren't going to listen. There's, a couple few that'll hear it and it'll actually get interested and start looking into it, investing. But majority of the people that are getting into it are the people online. So that's why we have to jump online and connect with the people online, and try to get as many people as we can around us. But we can't force them. you know, if they're gonna get in, they're gonna get in. If they're not, then it's not their time. Maybe they'll get in the next wave.
Well, XRP bags, you don't come across to me as having a maxi attitude about things, and that's one of the things that I've found the most fascinating in our space is we've got Bitcoin maximalists, and I really don't understand that because I look at it like what's good for one crypto basically is good for all the crypto space. So, do you have? Did you, in your experience in crypto world, did you ever feel like you kind of had that maxi attitude, and did anything happen to change that, where you kind of broadened the way that you were looking at things?
No, I never really had the maxi kind of attitude. I was always interested in what all cryptos were doing. I still, you know, even though XRP is my biggest holding, I still hold, you know, quite a few other coins that I'm interested in, and I see that they have potential and kind of doing the same things that XRP is doing. So, I think a lot of stuff's gonna. I think XRP is gonna be one of the main players, but there's still gonna be a lot of other cryptocurrencies that do well and that are doing well right now and doing a lot of good stuff.
Well, I think as we're moving into what I believe is going to end up being a cashless society, I don't exactly know what kind of time frame that we're working on, and we move into the internet of value. I just think that there are going to be a lot of companies like when we came out, you know, when the internet came along, and the .com boom came along. You know, we ended up with Facebook, we ended up with Google, we ended up with Amazon, Google. There's, I mean, when you're talking about all of the money, to me, the most exciting part of it all is that we're bringing on other people in the world, the unbanked and the underbanked, and allowing them to be able to participate in the world economy. And I know that there's some people out there that are kind of scared about a new world order and a new world economy and all that kind of thing. But I don't look at technological progress as being a bad thing. I personally think that it's a good thing, and it's going to bring a lot of convenience to all of our lives. And yes, I know I'm going to give up some personal freedom that they can track everything, but it's kind of like speeding. You know, I don't mind that the cops have radar if I'm going the speed limit. I mean, if I'm not doing anything wrong, I don't mind if they're kind of looking after things. So how do you feel about that? You feel like that? Are you scared about losing some of your personal liberties if we go into a cashless society?
Well, I see it going both ways with blockchain. Even though you know, some of our stuff's taken away, it goes on their side too. Everything's going to be more transparent, so we can see what they're doing, what they're up to, and with the blockchain, you know, we can implement voting and stuff like that. So, you know, blockchain technology just levels the playing field, makes it more transparent for everybody. So even though we might lose a little bit, we're still gaining at the other side too.
So, what other projects out there have you kind of looked at that are kind of on your radar that you feel really good about? Before we started, I told you that I was kind of looking into VeChain recently, and I think I'm probably going to move into that. But what are some of the other projects that you've looked into that you feel good about?
Some of the other projects I looked into, I'm interested in Cardano, what they're doing. Um, they've been in the game a long time, and I think they got a good solid team behind them as well. They got, you know, the staking coming out. I think they'll be a good player in the long run. I'm kind of interested in the casino coin and what they're doing. You know, with all the casinos looking to go cashless, you know, maybe they'll have a part in that too as well. Zilliqa, I was looking into Zilliqa. They're supposedly the Ethereum killer. I guess they already have sharding, and they also have a partnership with Unstoppable Domains where you can get an uncensorable domain. So you can get like a scott.zil, and nobody can ever take it down or censor you or anything like that. And also people can send you cryptocurrency directly to your .zil or .crypto address. so they don't have to type in your long address. They could just send it to scott.crypto or scott.zil. I'm kind of interested in XLM as well, just because they have almost the same technology as XRP. So, I'm kind of interested in what they're doing as well. So those are a couple of those that are I'm kind of interested in right now.
Do you have any concerns at all about the pending lawsuit? Is that anything that bothers you at all?
No, not really. This isn't the first lawsuit that popped up, I don't think. So, like I said, I don't really see it as being. I don't know what's taking so long, but I just don't see how you could sue somebody just because you bought it and then the price went down and then you sold it and lost money. So I just don't see how that would work out. And
I agree with you, and I like I kind of like the way that DAI talks about all that. That do you really do we need to have his 7-year-old draw you a picture that all of these people that with all of this experience, and I mean he went through on one of his videos yesterday, kind of a bit of the resume of I think you say it Margine Delaton. I think that might be right. I'm Southern, so I might butcher a French name if she's French. But man, that is one accomplished woman, and it just doesn't seem to me like that the people that are involved with working with Ripple would have risked their reputation. And Greg Kidd is also another another person that I just don't believe that the people that have been involved and all of the companies that have gotten involved working with Ripple would have done that if they felt like it was just going to end up being deemed a security and the whole thing is going to go kaput.
Yeah, I seen that lady that you said. I actually posted the video from that interview. It's like an hour-long interview. I think the title was like shifting to a digital revolution or something like that. So they're talking about cryptocurrencies, and she's like the head, some head of the XRP and Ripple or something like that.
I think banking something. Yeah, I remember hearing her title yesterday when I was watching that video. Oh, and I saw that David Schwartz is going to be interviewed on Friday. I can't remember exactly what platform it's going to be on, but I'm looking forward to that. I think it's 3:00 on Friday, 3:00 Eastern.
Do you check out their podcast?
What are they? Ripple Drops? Is that what they're calling it?
Block Stars or something like that?
Yeah, Block Stars. That's it. Yeah. Oh, it used to be Drops, and then they renamed it. What you said. Yes, I have seen them, and I'm just continuously amazed. Again, it's like a paradox because I keep seeing such solid information that just confirms my belief, confirms my belief, confirms my belief every single day. And then I go to Fiat Leak and it's sitting right there about 18, 19, 20 cents. And I'm like, I don't understand what in the world. And I agree with you about the lawsuit. What is taking so long? I mean, what is the judge waiting on? I mean, it either is or it isn't. Go ahead and make a decision, lady.
I just think they don't want to let the cat out the bag, so they want to just keep as much bad news out there as they can. So that's the only thing I could see happening. Because, like you said, there's partnerships every day. There's news. There's always something new. They're always signing a new partnership or doing something new. Any other cryptocurrency that would have seen a partnership with MoneyGram, you probably would have seen it Sky or something. But with XRP, it was nothing.
What do you feel like that the Fed is just going to continue to print money over and over and over? I can't see how that they can't. We're not hitting the wall at some point. I mean, we're $147 trillion in unfunded liabilities. I just can't see how these traditional economic people can't look at it and say, you know what, this fiat fractional reserve banking theory that we tried experiment, it just, hey, there were some good ideas to it, but it just failed. I can't see it why they just can't decide to pull the plug, give us a debt jubilee and a reset, and let's move on to what's next.
Yeah, they're gonna have to push the reset button. I think it's happening now. It's taking more time than we thought, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's coming. I think the next wave is coming. I think we're in it right now. It's just XRP is the last to blast, but it always goes up the highest. So well, you see all these other coins popping off, and people are going to start losing interest in XRP, and before you know it, I think we're going to be sitting at a nice price, and then that's when the FOMO is going to start.
Well, at your age, have you spent a lot of your lifetime kind of looking into and listening to traditional investment advice? And I'll be right up front and let you know that that's something that in my life experience, I really kind of messed up on. I really didn't take advantage of pre-planning through my lifetime, but I think I'm more people are like me because the average American is $400 away from not being able to buy a cheeseburger. So, but have you had any experience with the traditional investment world? And the reason that I'm asking that is that I don't know, can you see this? Zero? Is that it? Can you see zero here? I got zero credibility with those people have with me. I mean, why are they talking and trying to give people economic advice in a system that is completely falling apart? So, I mean, these traditional, like Peter Stiff, I can't stand that guy. And every time he brings up anything about crypto, the only thing he talks about is Bitcoin is terrible. Now, two guys that I do like, though, I do want to give a shout out. One guy we interviewed, George Gammon, love that guy. And I love Jim Rickards. And third guy, I love Cryptopolis, but again, he's, kind of a part of our XRP community. But as far as the rest of these, economic yahoos, I don't want to hear them say anything. And I don't understand why anybody ever wants to give them another penny for any of their advice. I mean, think about this, XRP bags. Here's my traditional economic advice for you. Some of that stuff's going to go up, and then some of it's going to go down. I mean, why in the world should we? I just don't see where where we're paying for any of their expertise. Oh, one other guy that I really like too is the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy. I like Robert Kiyosaki. He understands, that he's pro crypto as well. But these other traditional finance yahoos that are not understanding that crypto is the way that we're going, I think everybody ought to just say, you guys have no idea what you're talking about and just get away from them. So anyway, now I'm not a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. I just don't have a good taste in my mouth about the traditional financial advice out there. So what say you?
I think that's why we're all into crypto and we all like XRP because it gives us a way away from that system, and it gives us a way to hold our own money and to be our own bank and to level the playing field because, XRP, once it starts getting adopted, the price is only going to continue to go up. The fees are burned, and once they start moving the value that they're supposed to be moving, it's just going to be one of the best assets out there. I think the one that's going to last from the market from a lot of these other cryptocurrencies. They're the one with the best use case, and they're just out there doing it. They got the best team behind them, and they just continue to do good things in the blockchain space.
So let me ask you this: if XRP right now, I didn't even look at it today. We're at 19 cents, somewhere in that range, right? 19. All right. XRP goes to $10. What are you going to do? The week after we're at $10, what's your life? Tell me what you're going to spend your week doing that week.
I'm probably gonna take a vacation out of the country somewhere. I got my passport ready, so that'll probably be one of the first things I do. Probably get some land somewhere, some cheap land somewhere, and probably get some land out here too as well.
Any thoughts at all about moving some of that some of those gains into diversifying into maybe precious metals, any gold and silver, any kind of an idea of what you may do at that particular point?
Yeah, maybe some precious metals, but I'll look into some other coins like ADA and Cardano because they're going to be offering with the Shelly like 7% interest. So probably throw some of that, live off some of the interest on there. Crypto.com, their coin actually offers 18% on their coin. So I'll probably spread out a little bit and, you know, probably just live off the interest.
Well, you're not.
I plan on going in the mountains too, somewhere probably in Ecuador,
Yeah.
like you.
I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina, and in October, if anyone, if we moon before October, I would like to give an invitation to everyone. They have this thing every October called the Woolly Worm Festival up there, and they race woolly worms. They put them on a string and have them race up the string, and it's a 2-day Woolly Worm Festival. Third weekend in October. Anybody ever gets the chance, the mountains of North Carolina is one of the most beautiful places on the earth. And when XRP moons, I'm going to be moving myself back home. That's where I want to live the last third of my life from there. And I do plan on doing some traveling, going to some places that I've never been before. I would like to go to Japan. I have been to Australia. If you ever get the chance, XRP bags, if you ever get the chance, that is a fantastic place to go. They got the coolest animal reserves, and the people. We here in the South in the United States have got a reputation for being really friendly, y'all. But I'm telling you what, those Australian people they are so friendly. My best memory of that, besides the koala bears, I found out in Australia, the koala bears, they eat these eucalyptus leaves, and you know what it does to them? It makes them drunk. So they eat these eucalyptus leaves, and then they fall out of the trees. It's hilarious. But I had the greatest time. I spent 10 days there one time, and they are so friendly. And the thing that I learned when I was there when Michael Flatley was doing a lot of Lord of the Dance. It was a big Broadway show kind of thing, musical thing. And that was on the television. And they didn't have a lot of I don't know, I was there 10, 12 years ago. They didn't have a lot of choices on the television. Every single night it was Lord of the Dance on the television. And then the local news, they kept saying, be careful, the escapees are out. The escapees are out. And I kept scratching my head, and it took me 7 days into watching these news shows and watching what was going on when they were talking about that, for me to understand that what they were talking about was people had escaped from the local jail. But they called it escapees. So if you ever get the chance and you go to Australia and you ever hear that word escapee, now you know what it means. But again, I highly recommend that. That is just a wonderful country. The only thing I didn't like about it, Raleigh, North Carolina to Los Angeles, and then 13 hours from LA to New Zealand. Then we hung out there for a while and then hopped over to Australia. I don't like to fly. So I wasn't a big fan about that, but maybe by the time as we're moving into this next technological age, Elon Musk will have figured out how us to do time travel, and they can just zip me over there in the flux capacitor. All right. So is there anything that you would like to be able to say to anyone out there in XRP world or anybody out there in crypto world as a way of saying goodbye to everyone? And again, I want to make sure that everyone goes and finds, and is the name of your YouTube channel is what?
XRP bags.
All right, so make sure everybody go to YouTube, XRP bags, look up his channel, subscribe, and take a look at all of his videos whenever he posts them. and look at the in the description of our video here. Take a look down there, and I'll have the name there and a link to his channel, so all of you guys can find his content. Super guy. Now, one last thing I would like to ask you is you say what you'd like to be as your goodbye message to everybody. Number one, I'd like to invite you to come back maybe in a month or so. We can talk about what's happened from now till the time that's passed. And the other thing is, anybody that I'm asking to do an interview, did it seem like that this was an okay experience? Any bad thing happened to you while we were talking?
Oh no, this was a great interview. Got to meet a fellow XRP member and just talk crypto.
And one of the main things, I'm really hell bent on women. Number one, because I'm hetero. I love women. But there's a very specific reason why I want our ladies in the XRP community to step up and share their story, is because I'm a big Tony Robbins guy. And as we're trying to spread the XRP message out there in the world, people like who they're like. And a mom with 2 kids is going to identify a whole lot more with how a mom with 2 kids feels about this stuff than you and I talking about it. Mm-hmm. So we need as many of our women, and I want all of y'all to sit there and scratch your head for a second and think about it. Besides Crypto Eddie, who huge shout out to, that woman is fantastic. I cannot say how much admiration and respect I have for that lady, that woman. But we don't have a lot of women in our XRP space. Joni Gull-Brunson is a good friend of mine now. Stephanie Starr has become a good friend. Boo Boo is a good friend of mine now. But ladies, we need you to step up, because we need to have that female voice out there expressing the platitudes of Ripple and XRP out there to the world, because women are going to identify and hear you more than they are going to hear us. So any of the women out there in our XRP community, if I'm inviting you to have a conversation with us, please come on. Nothing bad will happen. Just a nice, friendly conversation with the little Southern fella.
They used to have the XRP Zoo Women's Edition too. That was really cool, but they haven't been doing it anymore.
Well, again, and any other women in crypto too. We have had Wendy O on our show before, and great gal. She lives in California. Great gal. Enjoyed talking with her. But again, any women out there in crypto, we'd love to be able to have a chance to speak with you, because we need to hear that female voice in our community. So, yeah. All right, well, any other parting message that you've got that you'd like to share with everyone?
I just want to say, keep on holding strong out there, guys. Keep on stuffing those bags. We know what's coming. We see the news every day. I think it's just a matter of time. We just got to stick together in the XRP community, the XRP army. Scott here is doing a great job with these interviews and getting the word out and being able to get our different stories out here. So it's just up to us to spread the word now, because I think it's just a ticking time bomb, and it's just a matter of time before XRP is going to be expensive, and then everybody's going to miss out. So get on the Coil blogs, get out there and start making the videos and spreading the XRP word. And if you want to tell your story, jump on the XRP Army's news channel and get your story out there. Contact Scott on Twitter.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And last thing I'd like to say to everyone, like Scott, my friend from Love for Crypto, live long and hodl. Of course, I don't say it in an English accent, but love that guy. If I had hair, I'd put it in a ponytail like him. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
All right.